Hi everybody, General Greene here. Good to see everybody. I just want to thank all of you again for your massive rallying cry and support for the people of Maui. We've raised, along with you, over $30,000 and growing. I think we're going to blow past 100K just in the next couple of days. Checks are being cut. The money's going to the people that need it most on the ground, and this includes Maui families, it includes people in weakened positions that, of course, have been displaced out of their homes. By the way, I haven't mentioned it, we've been displaced as well. There's no power, there's no electricity, the water's contaminated. Most of West Maui is still completely locked down. It's an absolute tragedy, but I'm not complaining. There's people a lot worse than me in worse positions. The biggest threat to the people of Maui is a loss of income and a loss of their jobs. You know, I'm lucky, I make my money online, and I'm able to, kind of be a digital nomad. This is not true for the people of Maui and the locals that depend on the service-based industries that really dominate the Maui landscape and the local economy. This is a massively devastating event that is going to take years and years to rebuild. And it will take, I'm guessing, over a decade to rebuild what's happened in the specific city and some call town that is Lahaina. But I just encourage you and I thank you to double, triple, 10 extra efforts, 1,000 extra efforts with whatever you can do, even if it's just $1, $5, $100, $1,000 or more, or if you find it in your heart and you're in a position of strength, donate as much as you can. This is money going to the people that actually need it, and it is bypassing the inefficient government services and the Red Cross, although I'd like to hope and pray that they're doing the right thing, as we saw today with Joe Biden when he was asked to comment on the tragedy of Maui after agreeing to send hundreds of millions of dollars more in aid to a foreign country that is non-NATO that makes up Ukraine. And that's a tragedy in and of itself, while he basically sleeps and ignores what's going on in the United States. I think they've only offered like $700 or something like that to people that need it. So this housing displacement, this job loss displacement, and the eventual long-term reconstruction is going to have profound repercussions for the Hawaiian Islands, but in particular, the good people of Maui. As I've stressed before, I live in Lahaina, so I was there, guys. I'm not reporting a media report. Our power went out and the electricity was gone, and then the cell towers were cut, and then fires raged from multiple directions, some that weren't even reported. And there was literally an inferno taking place with up to 100-person close to casualty count now. I'm guessing that could hit as high as I've seen some reports as 500, and God forbid, 1,500 or more. And this includes women and children. It's very difficult to think about. There's also a very serious mourning process I think is occurring with all of us in just understanding that the place that we love the most and we live is devastated. I also want to comment on the terrible people and the terrible companies that are actually calling, and, I'm not even going to name the companies by name, but you know who you are, that are attempting to take advantage of the local population and buy their cheap real estate now. A lot of you are not aware, so I will comment on this, that not all of these homes had insurance. Multi-generational ohana and families in the local Hawaiian population that have their homes paid off, it's their choice whether or not to have home insurance, and many of them didn't, or they just couldn't afford it from the get-go. They're never getting their house back, ever. And we've seen this with other events, other fires, other natural disasters, how large corporations like BlackRock and others then take advantage of people's pain and suffering and screw them over short-term, medium-term, and long-term. So the cold hard facts and reality is a lot of people are going to have to sell their properties because they can't survive. Not only are they displaced or they don't even have a home, there's no money or direct income to support even a relocation. And this is why your donations are so important. And it's frankly why our $1 million target, honestly, it's not enough. It's not enough. I want you to know, as a Christian and a brother in Christ, and many of you Christians and believers and non-believers alike, I am doing everything along with my father, our team, and our host of companies the Island Project, Rent Maui Jeeps, all local-based businesses in Lahaina. By the way, we're doing everything we can with our own funding, our own charitable giving, etc. But, that's something that I'm choosing not to publicize because I just don't think we should. I think there's a lot of people that are going to take advantage of that as well for their own selfish gain and selfish interests. So I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart and my father, who I'll probably put some closing statements at the end of this video, is that your donations and your charitable giving, these checks are already going out. Okay, we've been cutting checks since yesterday. $1,000, $5,000, $500, $300. These are going to individuals, real people, and real families affected by this gross and almost unfathomable tragedy. You look at this, it's like, I just can't even think about what this is going to look like in the future. Lahaina is a war zone and has been a war zone, but it's also I'm trying to think of a good word for it, cemetery. I mean, there are bodies in the streets, guys, bodies in the oceans, in a total botched response. Although they're probably, hopefully trying to do the right things, but a lot of people have told me, and I'm telling you directly, local authorities, government officials, the police, I mean, is this just ignorance or gross negligence? I've also heard reports, which are not to be confirmed, but from many of my friends on various parts of the island, that they're hearing rumors that they're grounding flights in and out of Maui. And so there's just a lot of chaos on the ground. They were given placards out to residents like ourselves that could go back and forth between parts of the island, because you have to understand, folks, there's no power, there's no food, there's no water, there's no stores you can go into. There was not even cellular service for many, many days. There's probably still people in Maui in the west side that don't even know they can get out. Like, it's been that botched. And what I find personally frustrating is, as we worked our way into safety, like, not only did we not know if the whole Hawaiian Islands had been taken over, yet alone the United States, in some kind of asymmetric event or attack, God forbid, but I see this immediate response from celebrities and politicians and all this other stuff before we were even evacuated, which raises an eyebrow and raises a lot of suspicions in my mind. Now, because the primary focus is human life, safety, health, wellness, charity at the moment, I'm not going to get into the conspiracy theories, although I do believe that a lot of them are true, quite frankly. Never seen a fire like this, guys. Don't make sense. And it's incredibly convenient. But I'm going to stay away from that now because I just don't really think it serves any kind of greater purpose at this very moment. The cold, hard reality is that what just happened, whether or not it's a conspiracy, it's directed energy weapons. And by the way, guess who's the expert in DEWs? This guy. I reported on it in 2018 with the LeMay papers. It's a Air Force declassified intelligence report, which I taught an entire course on, by the way, in 2018. And I'll probably release to the public if you guys just want to watch it. It was something that we had privately put in our archives, and I aired many, many videos on it. So it's not like I'm not informed with these technologies and don't understand the gravity of these war weapons and these weapons of war. But the cold, hard truth is that doesn't even matter at this point. Lahaina has been leveled. The people of Maui are permanently devastated. And people have lost their homes, their income, their jobs, their safety, and their security. This is not just a national issue. This is a human rights activism issue. And so I just encourage all of you to rally with your support, your prayers. At the very least, share this video from a guy. I'm a direct eyewitness, guys. Live in Lahaina. Can't go back to my house right now. Okay? And I'm in a better position than 99.999% of people out there. I just want you to know that you have the commitment of my companies, my father, our team, the Island Project, our other local businesses like Rent Maui Jeeps, that everything in our power, funding, charity, is and has already been deployed and will continue to be deployed as I pray to God's will that we blow past our $1 million funding mark and we help be the positive to a really grave, grave negative. And I'm also calling all those terrible, evil people out there and companies that are attempting to take advantage of Hawaii, you will meet your maker and you will be judged. That's all I'll say about that. And I'll pray for you and I'll pray for our enemies. And this is why we need your support. I'm asking for your support, not for me, but for the people that I care about and love in Maui that are counting on me. This is a responsibility that I'll be the rallying cry and I'll be the voice. Having been on social media for 17 years now and having a massive platform with millions of eyeballs around the world from an eyewitness that's telling you, if you don't help, these people are going to suffer more than you can ever imagine. And you know, someday, might not just be them, it might be you. So think about that for a minute. Imagine you're in Lahaina and your house is burnt to the ground and you don't have a place to stay the night and your job's gone and you look at your bank account and it's a big fat zero and you know it's going negative soon. What is that check going to be worth to them that is cut from this charitable donation drive of GoFundMe, link below, is going to mean to them? It's going to mean the difference between feeding their kids and themselves and providing, even if it's just a short glimpse of stability, before what's going to be a massive reconstruction rebuilding effort, which I'm sure large, giant corporations are going to come in and do what they normally do. And I also tell you directly that the Island Project will have a very big role in making sure that doesn't happen. And we will deploy all of our resources, human capital, funding, whatever is needed, our social media campaigns, my platform, everything that's been built for God's glory to make sure that doesn't happen and protect Maui and build it in the right way. But that's not important now. What's important now is the people that are hurting, that are suffering, and frankly, are counting on you tuning in. If you've watched this video up to this point, and I'm 12 minutes in, and you still haven't donated, I encourage you, click the link below, even if it's just $1, and act. Go big, man. Find it in your heart to help these people. Do what you know is right, even if it's just a share or a like. Also, for interviews or if people want to talk, I've been approached by several mainstream television outlets, Japanese press, with some family members and friends. I am open to that. I'm happy to bring as much exposure to this crisis as is needed. Again, it's not about me. It's also been very humbling for me as well. And, you know, it's forced me to look in the mirror and really look at, hey, why has God put me in this role? And what is my obligation and duty now to the people of Maui? It's a big one, and I take it very seriously. Help us.